What's up everyone? I've got a slightly different video for you today. Normally, I talk about the Amazon UI, what's going on in Amazon Seller Central, and sort of the PPC tips that surround using Amazon's PPC platform. Today, I'm going to be talking about Helium 10, specifically the Cerebro tool. If this video convinces you to download Helium 10 and get the premium version, check out the link below. You can use our promo code SUNKENSTONE50 to get either 50% off your first month or 10% off every month. If you're just curious about checking it out, 50% going to make a lot of sense. If you already know that you want it, 10% is going to save you more money in the long run. Either way, let us save you money, and hopefully this convinces you to use Helium 10. It's the tool that we use here at our agency. We use pretty much everything it gives us. There's a ton of different tools to use, and it's really, really helpful. Can't imagine doing Amazon PPC without it. So with that, let's get started. So we're talking about Cerebro, and what Cerebro is, it's Amazon's reverse ASIN tool. So what that does is you plug in an ASIN or a series of ASINs, and it'll let you know, what kind of keywords and things are associated with that, as well as lots of features that I'm about to show you. So in the spirit of the holidays, I'm choosing this holiday popcorn little tin. I'm sure we've all gotten one of these. I don't know if you're one of these people that eats one of the specific flavors, or if you just take the divider out and then just shake it up and then have all the flavors together. I like having all the flavors together just because it gets stale eating the same ones. Some people just go blast through the cheese and then leave the other ones alone. Some people just pawn off the popcorn on other people and then use that tin to store whatever it is. But I love holiday popcorn. I'm using it for this example. Whatever product you're getting into, like if you're doing, let's say you're doing PPC for a new client, a lot of things that I'm referencing in this video, we're going to just assume that you have really strong product knowledge of your own product. So if you don't have really strong product knowledge, you can sort of forget about a lot of the little tactical things that we do to improve your account, because it's just really important that you know what kind of keywords are going to convert. So first things first, before you do any sort of thing that I'm going to show you right now, figure out what product you're selling, get a really good idea of what kind of keywords are going to be relevant, and then you should just mentally be able to assign like high, medium, low relevance to certain keywords just right off the bat. So with that all being said, let's get started. So looking at this Popcornopolis Popcorn Gourmet, it's 2 gallon. They also have a 3.5 gallon, and then they have the Zebra Caramel, which looks pretty good. I like chocolate popcorn. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this ASIN and we're going to drop it into Cerebro. So actually, get rid of this. I'm just going to go get keywords just to show you what sort of comes up. So it's going to pump out these results, and here we go. So we've got all sorts of different filters here. We'll be diving into those, and then we've got these filter keywords. So right now it's giving us 4,900 keywords. So what you don't want to do is copy all 4,900 keywords and put those in a keyword campaign. Do not do that. These are all the keywords that are relevant for said product. So gift basket. If you just did gift basket, you would probably take a pretty big hit on your ACoS. And plus, whatever budget you have assigned, let's say you have $100, if you just dump these in, Amazon Smile sign-in, popcorn machine, Christmas gift basket, food gifts, hot chocolate gift set, all of those I would say, outside of maybe popcorn machine and maybe food gift, I would all say those are like generally pretty low relevance. They're not no relevance, they're sort of tangentially related. But if you have keywords with a lot of search volume and you go after those right off the bat, all your traffic is just going to go right there. And if it doesn't convert well, you might start getting the idea in your own head that like, this product might not be very good. But what's really happening is your high relevant keywords aren't actually getting any impressions at all. So tip number 1, don't just do one ASIN and grab all the keywords. I'll show you what to do instead, but do not do that. Even if you only take some of my advice, take that piece of advice and don't just dump all these keywords in, especially just going search volume descending and dumping all those in. Do not do that. If you're going to do something, go by the rank, either sponsored or organic. So like here, we can look up like popcorn tin, Garrett popcorn, caramel popcorn. If you just did the top, like this is a really good product. So if you just did the top 50 keywords, that would be pretty decent. If you had to move really quickly and that's just one thing you had to do, organic rank descending, do all those keywords, probably going to be pretty good. And you might be thinking, why would I run sponsored ads on products that I'm already ranking for? And the reality is, almost the entire first page, the first thing you see, we call it above the fold, where you don't have to scroll, it's pretty much saturated by ads. So if we look at, search this again, yeah, so, well, this, in this particular instance, this search result isn't actually this way, which is fortunate. But there are some search results, and it totally depends on the search, where just all the results are sponsored. And you have this big sponsored right here. So fortunately, Popcornopolis got it. But if you're not running sponsored ads, sometimes you just won't get seen for the people that are just going to do quick shopping. And your rank will oscillate really quickly. So you might be number one day, you might be 20 the next day. So you can't, whatever you see that organic rank, it's not a sure bet. So top organic rank ones, if you just did like everything 1 through 10, bid on that, it'd be pretty good. But we could do better. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So instead of just doing this ASIN, what I like to do is I like to add in other similar products, because that, you know, that can get us more keyword ideas that are relevant, because this, whatever product, whether you're taking on a new product or doing something that has a lot of sales volume, they probably don't have all the keywords indexed or are even focusing on all the keywords. Even if it's a really good product, there are probably gaps you're missing. So adding in additional ASINs, really helpful. And I like to make sure that these ASINs are really, really closely related. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So we have this get keyword button. Let's look at get competitors. So more Popcornopolis. You can do other things in your brand, but I like to do other brands because it's just new, you know, sort of ways of thinking. Popcorn. None of these are okay. Here we go. Here's a popcorn tin. Looks like another one. Gift pack. Harry David's. Gourmet popcorn. Popscorn. Smart food. Maybe not so much. Classic collectible. Ideally, you would go either just use this list that Amazon gives you, or just look up like popcorn tin and then do all the ones that are popcorn tins. The more the better, but we already have 4,900 keywords, so we're already doing pretty well. There's always the balance between speed of doing this and then getting it perfect. Wherever that balance is, totally up to you. But in this case, I'm just going to select these additional ones. I think it's 5. Yeah, there we go. So get keywords. New search. And we're going to let it do its thing. So here we go, 6 ASINs. Now we have 7,400 keywords. So we have even more keywords to work with. Once again, so we have ranking competitors, so number of competitor ASINs that are ranked. So that's anywhere, I think it's 301 is where it cuts off. And then competitor performance score. So performance index, measure of how successful the listings are for the given keyword. So you could even do what our competitors are worst ranked for. But the problem with that is that you'll get like Christmas mousse, popcorn 4-ounce packets, microwave popcorn tub. Like there's a lot of different ways you can filter this, and depending on how advanced you get, you can just sort of start to like figure out different pieces of data, or like how closely your competitors are targeting all these different, you know, words. But what I like to do, we can just still look at like position. So now it's changed to position / rank, and these are just all of ours. So like, okay, so here's one. So this would be if you were going to do like a very thrifty campaign, and just make sure you're doing things that your opponents aren't necessarily targeting all that well. I personally, just depending on like how well your campaigns are made, if I was starting from scratch, I would just do what I said earlier. So I would just do a reverse ASIN, do all of our top ranked keywords and dump them in. But let's say you've already done that, and you're looking to expand your keyword list for a campaign that already exists. What I might do is I might add a filter that says competitor performance score, competitor performance, maximum of 9. Let's see if that does what we want. and a minimum of 1. There we go. So that's going to eliminate potentially anything that's really irrelevant by making it a minimum of 1, of saying like the competitors have to at least be somewhat competing, but we don't want anything that's really high competition. Doing that is going to leave you with things that are not necessarily super tracked out. You could even lower that to something like 7. So 1 through 7 is things that are like kind of relevant, but not so targeted by your competitors as ways to add it. But nevertheless, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll. I'm just going to look. So you can increase this to like 150 and just look at, so we're looking at the things that we're best ranked for. So Valentine's Day popcorn, tin can, popcorn gift, Popcornopolis. All of these are very relevant to me. So I'm not seeing anything that's like sweet and cheesy popcorn, popcorn and a pickle. Not sure what that means. Rocky Road popcorn, ranch flavored popcorn. So this might be something like, even just scrolling through this, one interesting tip. So like in this case, we are not ranch flavored. So just scrolling through, we figured out that like that is something that's going to be irrelevant. So what we can do is go exclude phrases that contain ranch. Get rid of those. So even though we rank decently well for it, it's not really that relevant, especially if we're going to be running ads. So there are things that you could be ranking decently well for, like in that moment in time, that are not necessarily that relevant. So you could just go ahead and nix those. And then I'm just going to continue scrolling, seeing if there's not anything more like that. I would do this exercise probably several times to see if you can't find anything here that looks irrelevant. So I know I'd seen before something when I was talking about like popcorn bags, like a Orville Redenbacher. So I might just go comma bag. That didn't remove any, fortunately, just because we have this competitor performance. But that would be an example of something that you would just start making these cuts. So in this hypothetical example, if we didn't have any sort of like well-organized campaigns at all for this product, then I might go like 500 keywords, and we'd see where that ends up as far as like, okay, so we're doing 150 per page. It'd be on page 4. So we're up to like position 52, popcorn balls wrapped, microwave. So we can exclude microwave and ball, apply that. It's going to reduce our amount. So you can keep doing this, like filtering, and then just do whatever the top 500 are. So like you could say, going back to that example before, we were at page 4, and then figure out where position 500 is. And these are a lot of keywords. So I would go ahead and say like, okay, position 69, and say our, where did it go? Relative, there are a lot of things going on here. Search volume, ranking competitors, sponsored rank. Here we go. You can lose track of some of these things. You also could potentially exclude low volume keywords if you wanted, if you're doing something like, you wanted to make all these keywords count. I would just browse through all these filters and just think about like how relevant they could be to you based off of your purposes. Word count, I like to leave at 2. Single word keywords usually don't work too well. But in this case, I'm going to go position maximum of 69, minimum of 1, and that 501 exactly. So what you can do then is you can either export into Excel or just copy to clipboard. I would export this in Excel and then run that same little exercise I did before, finding all the irrelevant keywords. You can just use a search find. Continue to run this little example here, like get 500 and then whittle that down to 300. That's one way you could do it. But if you were to do something like you already had a campaign that was existing, and you just wanted to add more additional keywords to it, you wanted it to perform a little bit better, you could even just cut this off at like position 10. That leaves you with 124. These are all going to be pretty good keywords. Not going to go through the whole process on this video. I want to keep it short. But you could just copy all those, add those keywords to your campaign. They're probably going to be duplicates, but even if you add like 30 keywords, if each of those are getting like a couple sales, it doesn't take that much for it to add to additional thousands of dollars of ad sales. So the number of things you can do with Cerebro is really, really large. It is a very versatile, powerful tool. I use it all the time. Play around with it first and foremost. And then biggest tip I can give, run these filters and then check every single keyword, visually scan, and use the exclude to get rid of things, keyword themes that are not relevant. Once again, SUNKEN50, check out the description for the code. Hopefully I'm not getting that wrong. Whatever the description says, follow that. But if you like this Helium 10 video, if you like our content, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. And if you are planning on using Helium 10, which I would recommend if you're not using an Amazon software, please use the link in the description and use our coupon code. If you want more tips on how to reduce your ACoS, check out this video. It's our 7 tips to reduce campaign-wide ACoS. Really helpful stuff. Yeah, you could be saving thousands of dollars just from that video view alone. And with that, happy optimizing, everyone.